What?
Whoops! I should probably get the intro
Play the
ready.
song.
You're not hiding, Rudy.
Quit acting stupid.
Mike.
With
Bobby,
Jamie!
and
I'm too far. I noticed that I can't jump out because my whole face is covered by the logo. Anyway, hello and welcome to the latest episode of Quit Acting Stupid. I'm your host, Jamie Paredes, and joining me as always are my brothers, Bobby, Rudy, and no Andy? No, I don't know. We're going to put out a silver alert for our little brother.
We should do the Andy's Coming challenge.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Do you know how to do that, Bob?
so
Do you know how to do that?
If he shows up, you don't know how to do that, Bob?
Oh,
happened?
yeah.
So it's from Toy Story. So the kid Andy that had all the toys.
Oh, yeah,
When they-
yeah. Then play dead.
When they yell Andy's coming, everybody drops. So if we see him show up, yell Andy's coming, and then we all drop. That would be hilarious. Oh, that'd be good stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
And
So
before
what
we-
are you thinking of?
Wait, before we get started, before anybody says anything, guys, like and subscribe. We always say this at the end, but by then I don't think we have any viewers. So like, subscribe, smash that like button, as Macy would say. She's probably rolling her eyes at me right now. But leave a comment.
And I think people are probably tired of all the prostate talk and the food talk. So I think it maybe it's run its course.
We
In
wanna
fact,
talk
talking about prostate,
hijinks.
this was the position I was in when when shit went down. So
Yeah, we got pretty deep into that, pun intended, last episode, and I think, and since then I've actually, we actually officially became Eskimo brothers, Rudy, because I went to my urologist, who happens to be the same urologist you use, and it was funny because I didn't think he would check me 2 years in a row, I guess, unless he was just anxious. I guess so. So I was like, a good thing I downloaded before I went. I wasn't even thinking about it, but I made sure I was clear. I was, cleaned out the pipes.
Pipes are clean.
see, here's the thing. Unless you're getting in there to clean, how are you? He's going inside. Like,
Yeah, because I think
you can't
the last
clean
episode-
inside there.
in the last episode I had told you, I was like, no, I think he was only in there a couple seconds, but this time, and it's funny because I when he reached for the gloves, I remember you saying last week on this same episode, or on the episode, the last one, that when he reached for the gloves, you got all panicky, and me, when he reached for the gloves, I was like, oh no, he's gonna do it again. Didn't he just do it last year? And all I could think about was you saying how what was going through your mind when he reached for the gloves, and I had a big smile on my face just to keep from laughing, because I was like gonna die laughing. All I could think about was Rudy. I had Rudy in my head,
You
making
had
jokes,
another man
grabbing
inside
gloves.
you.
Yeah,
So, hold on. He reaches for his gloves and you start smiling.
I started smiling to keep from laughing, because I wanted to laugh out loud, just because I'm like, oh my god, Rudy was joking about this. And now so basically he's putting his fingers in me, and I got a big grin. I'm like trying not to let him see my grin, because it's everything I could do to not laugh. And so he put it in. It was like kind of like I remembered. It was like old times. It slid right in. And so I was like, yeah, this, he doesn't. And then all of a sudden he just went an extra, he just went another knuckle deep and almost tried to shove me through the wall. I was like, it was like he's tried to scratch the back of my throat from my butthole. Like, it was something else.
I'm
But anyway.
enjoyable is that the same guy now has been inside both of you. So do you think he's comparing you both of your rectums?
I think so. I would if I were him. I mean, come on. But you know what? It's the thing that's different between me and him is me and Rudy is that I had mentioned to this urologist that my concern about waking up multiple times a night and going pee, and so he hands me this container. He's like, yeah, just go go measure, how much you pee a night. And I'm like, okay, so I'm half asleep, gonna have to be peeing in this measuring container thing. How am I going to get that done? Anyway, so I leave it in the bathroom. I wake up and here's me all groggy going into the bathroom and getting this thing and trying to pee in it and not fall over and spill piss all over myself. Could you imagine that? Because I'm like, that's total. That's on the table. That's on the table right now. Is I'm walking into the bathroom, holding this thing, peeing into it, and just trying not to spill it on myself.
At night, do you turn the light on?
I do. Yeah. It's
no. You got to keep the light off.
See, that's the thing. But then I got to see how much it is, and I got to enter it into my phone.
Sure.
So like 300, whatever it is, milliliters or whatever.
CCs. Yeah.
Whatever it is. So here's Jamie at 2:00 in the morning. Like, what? I'm trying to look at the little numbers on this thing because, of course, they're clear. They can't be black, like to where I could see what they are. Like, I'm like, they had the big line for the 100, 200, 300, and then a small line for the 50s. And I'm like, well, what's this one? And I mean, again, it's like 2:00 in the morning. I'm like, so now then I'm wide awake. There's no way I'm going back to sleep because I can drink, read how much piss I just, in this cup. And it's just been, it's been a nightmare. So I'm about done with it. But anyway, so that's my my little follow up to Rudy's story last week.
Okay, we should absolutely put a moratorium on butt stuff.
I think so.
We've got to be done with it. So
moving on.
Moving
on. Bigger and better things.
So let me talk first about how last time we recorded, it was it was last Tuesday night. You might recall from those avid 27 viewers of ours that I was in Orlando at Walt Disney World for work. And that was on Tuesday night. So on Wednesday night, I was still there at Walt Disney World with my company. On Wednesday night, our firm did something where I knew in advance that this was going to happen, but they basically had karaoke. And you know how the three of us and Andrew and our whole family get when we get around karaoke, right? I mean,
yes.
I mean, describe. I mean, what if I say we're going to go to karaoke like Friday? I mean, tell me what your instant thoughts are. What do you?
I'm doing my mouth exercises, getting ready, my voice, lion face, lemon face. Ooh, but is that how it goes?
Yeah.
There you go. So
yeah, you're getting ready. You're getting hyped up.
I was pretty excited for this. They said we're going to do this. I'm like, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to have my A game on. Okay, so now you got to imagine I work with a large number of people that are pretty, I would say for the most part, pretty introverted. So they're pretty kind of shy, quiet, timid, that sort of thing. So it was going to be a combined casino night and karaoke night. And so put it this way, this would not have been the first time many of my coworkers saw me perform karaoke. I've done it before on virtual calls. Yeah, so they already knew that Bob is kind of already got, he'll get things, going. So they were all giving me crap, kind of like, oh, hey, do you know what you're going to sing? What do karaoke, are you going to get up there? I think they all full well knew that I was going to be getting up there. So now I'm trying to think, all right, well, I can't let my
your fans,
my coworkers, but yeah, in reality, my fans, I can't let my fans down. So I'm like, I got to come hard. I got to really bring it. What am I going to, move on. I got to really, show out on this song. So if you had, let me ask before I go any further, if you had one song to sing and you're going to sing it by yourself. Ooh. And you really kind of, nothing slow because I'm trying to get the crowd pumped up.
Okay.
Imagining that you're probably the first person of the evening too.
So we've been in this situation before, and I always feel like Humpty Dance, Digital Underground gets things moving. I'm pretty. So to start off, I think I would go there.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Jamie, what about you?
Well, it depends. Are we talking about to show off my talent? Do we want to show off my range? Or are we just talking about getting the crowd pumped up?
I mean, it's kind of everything, right? I mean, because like, if again, like I work with folks that are pretty introverted and like put it this way. When we started, I had somebody. We're playing a table game. We were playing blackjack, and the guys next to me are like, "Oh, nobody's at the karaoke machine. I wonder who's going to be the first one to kind of get it all." Everybody's like, "Ooh, it's not going to be me." They're all scared of it, and somebody even said, "Oh, we had this thing where you've got to have your token on you to show that you're a member of our group, and that's gonna be a thing going forward. You got to have your poker chip to show that you're one of us." And so anytime somebody asks you, or anytime you show that chip, it shows that you're part of our group. And so somebody even said, "Well, you better go run up and get to your room and get your chip, because if you don't have your chip with you, they might make you sing." And I'm sitting here going, this is crazy. Nobody else is going to get the mic when I get up there, So I wasn't scared at all. I was actually looking forward to it. So going back, what's your song? What's your one?
I don't. I mean, if it'd probably be some sort of yacht rocky Doobie Brothers.
Yeah, but those are mostly slower songs, right? I mean, they're a little slower jams, a little cool. See, I'm trying to get up there, grab the freaking mic, and show everybody. Look,
well, see, here's the
we're
thing
gonna have a fun
too.
night.
With the Humpty Dance, I'm gonna be out of breath and just so whatever. So maybe I go like Frankie Valli and do a little Sherry and try to get as high on that note as you possibly can.
Yeah,
I might.
I'm thinking a little. Is it Slick Rick children's story?
Okay,
children's story would be solid.
But you gotta understand my crew too. Here, I'm probably on the older end of the spectrum, maybe. So
because I was about to say earlier that you're making it sound like you work with a bunch of nerds. That's just the way you're making it sound. I don't know anybody you work with, but
I didn't say nerds. I just said introverts. Okay, so all right. So I had gone back and forth, and I was largely thinking I was going to do Black Eyed Peas. I don't even know what the name of the song is, but tonight's going to be a good night. You'll really get the crowd pumped up.
Okay.
But
if you're going for a crowd pumping song, sure.
Tonight's gonna be that's what I was thinking about doing. But then in the days leading up, I changed it. And I settled on a song, and I settled on Sold, Grundy County, John Michael Montgomery, because I knew all the words. It was a little more fast paced, and I was going to be able to let everybody know. Yeah, wow! Look at it. Look at Bob's command of the lyrics.
You put a lot of thought into this.
Absolutely, because again, I had already kind of had a reputation of. Yeah, we've seen Bob do, this is probably right up his alley. And I kept saying, look, because they're like, well, I would need, other people would say, I'd need so and so many drinks before I got up there. I'm like, people, I would get up there with no drinks. I would get up there.
I'm a nerd, and I'm pretty proud of it.
Okay, that's fair. But so in the days leading up, I am sitting there practicing my lyrics. I am going over them in my head so that the day of, I am sitting there just. Hey, pretty lady, won't you give me a sign? I'm going over it in my head. All right. So then nobody's getting up there. It's dead. You see some people around the computer putting things in the queue, but nobody really wants to do it. And I just grabbed the mic and I killed it. I killed it.
Oh, fucking great.
Okay.
I had all the eyeballs right on me. I'm sitting there, hey, pretty lady, won't you give me a sign? I'd give anything to make it mine on mine. And, I can't really see how they're responding, but I'm hearing, no, I didn't hear crickets. I actually heard cheering.
I'm very aroused.
So once you get up there and you're the first to sort of, pop open that bottle, that top.
Never had one lesson.
Yeah. Boy, I killed it. But then.
That boy was good.
There was some of that. That boy's good. Yeah, sure. But then I never would turn loose of the mic. So then I was like, it was just like, I got everything going. All right. So I got this whole crowd excited. Then it's sort of like, okay, well, if Bob can do it, yeah, I'll get up there too. And so then people started coming up, and you started to see the confidence a little bit more in other people that I worked with. And so, there was this gal, she's cute because I mean, she's cute because she's younger, and I feel so much older than some of these kids. But she's like, oh, I want to go up there, but I'm just so nervous. And she was like, I was like, hey, I'll go up there with you. You know, what do you want to sing? And the song she was singing was talking about was some vacation song. Do you guys know? But it wasn't Holiday Road. It was something about my appreciation. I'm on my vacation. Or
Yeah, no, it's yeah, that's one of the Dirty Heads. I don't know. That's one of Miranda's bangers.
yes. This was right up Miranda's alley. And I'm like, I've heard that song before. I don't really know it, but I'll go up there and perform it with you because I have no problems whatsoever getting up in front of a crowd. So
Dirty Heads. It's Dirty Heads.
pretty much if video let me say when video finally comes out of me performing, I'm performing Jesus, I don't even know all the songs I did. I mean, there were, but then it just got the crowd going. It got everybody up there and it loosened up everybody. Then they
That's what
started
she
going up in
said.
groups. Our group went up there and did Sweet Caroline. The Kansas City group, the Texas group did Friends in Low Places. So even though I don't have a mic and some of the groups are going up there and doing their thing, I'm still singing every single freaking song. So the people in the audience were like giving me high fives. They're giving me fist bumps. I mean, you could clearly tell that I was the one that kind of got things rolling.
So I was under the impression these were all people that you worked with, but you're saying there's a Texas office. There's people there that don't know you that you're doing this in front of.
They know of me. Yeah. I mean, so it's coworkers, but it's coworkers in not only my office, but throughout the country. So they know me, they know of me, I know of them. I don't know,
Okay.
how well I
Okay.
know some of them, but yeah, the
Sure.
Texas group, they sang Garth Brooks, Friends in Low Places. So I'm there, even though I'm off stage, I'm still screaming it in the crowd. I'm having a good time. And then our group got up there, like I said, we did Sweet Caroline, and a buddy of mine or coworker, he got up there and he did DJ Rob Bass and he's doing it.
MC Rob Bass and DJ
Rob
Easy
Bass.
Rock.
Oh, that's a
Rock.
good
He
one.
gets
Yeah.
up there to do he gets up there to do It Takes Two, and it's just him up there by himself, and he's doing it, and I'm like,
The
"Dude, you
song
can't sing
says.
It Takes Two." So I grab the other mic because there are 2 mics, and I go
Oh
up
my
there and
gosh.
I'm like, "Dude, you can't do It Takes Two with only one person up here."
I
So
wonder
I
if
was
they were
being
like,
pretty
dude, give it a rest.
obnoxious. Not obnoxious because I
Oh,
wasn't.
I'm
I mean,
sure
I
I'm
was
not.
drinking, but I wasn't. Miller
No, I'm
Lite.
sure you're probably extremely obnoxious.
Nobody thought
Yes,
you weren't drinking. Um,
but I'm obnoxious even without the beer. So there you go.
uh, it's
But
like beer.
when video comes out, I will have to show it to you guys. So anyway, end of the night, I'm leading up to even something better. The end of the night, I go up to the computer and I know we've got until 9:30. I think is when we were done with this. So I go into the queue and I'm like, all right, well, we've got to have closing time. Semisonic, that's got to be last, right? I mean, that's got to be the closing song when we end up time. So I go and I put it in the queue. And so then I get the mic and I'm like, come on, everybody. If you haven't been up here yet, it's your last chance. It's the end of the night. Everybody
Are
up
you
here
that guy?
on the stage, and we're doing, closing time. You all know this song. And so I'm being more MC than I am really
No,
uh
more annoying.
probably. Yes, there's a good part of that yet too. But the crowd liked it. They were all playing off of me.
Go
So anyway,
outside, nerd.
so we get in a big circle for Semisonic's closing time. We're locked arm in arm and we are rocking side to side. And everybody
What?
knows the words. Everybody's singing the words. We are,
That sounds kind of crazy.
I guess Andrew might be going to bed. He just woke up. But anyway, so we're doing this thing. And the following day, it was described as sort of like a religious experience because there are literally 50 people in this giant circle, and I've got one of the mics, and we are all together in unison singing closing time. And so it was
gay.
it was a lot of fun. It was a great time. So that night so then it ended at 9:30. That's when the guy came to take his equipment away, and then everybody's like, all right, well, we're gonna go to this bar and it's a karaoke bar. Who's coming with? And we're gonna keep the karaoke going. So I went with the group to the karaoke bar, and that wasn't as much fun, mainly because I was already pretty freaking exhausted at that point, having sang for 2.5, 3 hours. So I was kind of wiped out. But fast forward to the next day. The next day, we're going to gather again as a group, and this is the last day. And I'm thinking, what am I going to say when they ask me? Because I just know that the next conversation the next day is going to be, oh, hey, did you guys see Bob? He was really killing it last night, wasn't he? And thank you, Bob, for getting it all started. And, I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to have some words to say. And I was gonna say,
he's Ralphie in the
Yeah.
classroom.
so I'm already planning what I'm going to say. I'm going to be like, well, guys, I apologize. Thank you so much for, humoring me and letting me, assault your eardrums. And, I'm just going to be, just talk about how, even though it was terrible, I love performing for you guys. And so I'm already thinking, what am I going to say when they mention this to me? So we get into the conference the next morning and they're like, hey, before we get started, I'm like, here it comes. Boy, we really just gotta give it to the star of the night, clearly. I'm like, yeah, thank you. Star of the night clearly was Amy, right? I mean, everybody, did you hear Amy? I mean, Amy was phenomenal. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Amy? No,
From commercial?
not Amy. It was Marva. Yeah, I know. But they're like, Marva. I mean, Marva killed it, didn't she, guys? I mean, can we all give Marva a round of applause? And I'm like, what the fuck, people? I'm like, if it wasn't for me, this whole thing wouldn't have even gotten started. We would have all just been playing casino games all night. And they like all gave her a clap and clapped. And I'm like, I felt like Molly Ringwald in 16 Candles. They fucking freaked my birthday.
I was, as you were telling that story, I was hoping that's where it was going to go. Like you built it up perfectly. And I'm like, I hope he doesn't say that. Yeah, they acknowledged him. I love that they did not acknowledge you.
I'm sitting here going, I got this whole thing started. I was the one that put closing time into the queue. What are we doing here?
Who did that?
I don't know.
Who did that?
Wasn't
me.
Wasn't me.
I wasn't even touching my computer. I'm like, people, if it wasn't for me, this whole night wouldn't have even gotten started. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? And then I was just like, you know what? Forget it. It's fine. Everybody knows I was the one that.
You're the guy that gets up to speak in front of an audience and like says, hey, how's everybody doing out there? And then they say, oh, good. No, I said, how's everybody doing out there? That's
I
you.
can't hear you. Yeah.
Come on, we can do
Oh,
better
come
than
on,
that.
you can do better than that.
Yeah.
That's you.
That's hilarious.
My karaoke skills were unrivaled. Now, Marva did sing better than I sang because, I mean, I'm pretty much just yelling into the mic. But I mean,
Clearly.
yeah. But I was just like, to acknowledge her and you're not going to acknowledge me. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me right now? Is this actually happening? Because
That
again,
is
I've been
wild.
preparing in my mind. What am I going to say when they bring the mic to me and say, well, boy, we want to really thank Bob for really getting the night kicked off for us. And not a word. Not a freaking word.
That's good stuff, man. I love it.
That's
I love it. And on that topic, as you're telling your story, it's kind of that topic. And I don't know if we want to go into this topic, but we had a funeral and a visitation the last couple of days.
That's probably the worst segue of all time.
That's fine. But hold on. I haven't gotten there because so I missed the visitation, but I was at the funeral today. And I had a conversation with Jamie, and he was pointing out that he talked about when our parents have a funeral or, pass away or whatever, that he's going to just sit. He doesn't want to talk to anybody. Like, how the family all stands up there in a line.
The receiving line.
The receiving line. Jamie said, I'm just going to sit down. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't. And I guess that's where I was going here. Bobby's talking about grabbing a mic and strangers out there. And Jamie doesn't even want to talk to family. Like he won't even, he's back here. And
I'll talk to anybody. Jamie won't even talk to people we're related to by blood.
No.
What I will say with Jamie, like I've gone to a few funerals, not recently, but the last few I've been to, like visitations, I'll go up and it is awkward because I know, half the family, and I'm saying, I'm catching up with everybody. It's not the great place to catch up, but like you get to somebody you don't know And I've been in front of somebody in a receiving line at a visitation. I'm just like, how's it going? Like literally, how's it going comes out of my mouth like a
Yeah,
moron.
I said that to Rita today. While I was getting food. I said, "How you doing?" I'm like, "Oh."
Nobody cares. I mean, yeah.
And then who was it? I was talking to somebody. I think I was talking to.
Although Anita said, your brothers didn't say anything to me, and I'm like,
I thought about that when I left. When I
mainly-
walked out.
I think that's mainly because they don't know what to say. Because we just had
Yeah.
this conversation the night before. Jamie's talking about how he just hates saying sorry for your loss because it just feels so. What did you say? It feels
It's
so empty.
stupid. It's dumb. Like, of course you're sorry. You wouldn't be here. Like, of course you
Right.
wish I didn't have this loss, but I don't need you to say it. Like, what?
It's fine.
We had
I
this
walked out
conversation.
today-
Go ahead.
No, you, Jamie.
No, I was having this conversation. Who was it? I think Tomas might have been with me or something, or no, it was Manny. He was standing by me, and it was clear somebody was there, and we used somebody else as like a pick. Like we kind of backed up and let somebody else, like engage a conversation, and then we went around. Like, so we completely avoided a conversation.
Was this in the food line? Was this in the food line?
I think so.
I think it was Rose, wasn't it?
It might have been. And
I
somebody
think it was
came.
Rose.
Yeah, it might have been.
My mother-in-law. Yeah,
That's right. Yeah, you were there. Yeah.
I was there.
Because I think
No, Rudy was.
Okay.
yeah, but I didn't really hear what everybody was laughing, so I had to have what happened, what just happened. But yeah, like Jamie was so he didn't want to. Not that he doesn't want to talk to Rose, but he's so nervous about that interaction.
It minimizes the chance that I will say something stupid. Like the other day, I was walking the dogs, and a lady, one of our neighbors said, "Hey, I like your shirt." Or no, they said, "Happy Father's Day." And I said, "You too." And then I immediately turned to her husband, "Happy Father's Day." Like I'm going to say something stupid. So yeah, so I was standing next to Manny. I backed up and
people say things all the time.
I got a
That's
couple.
not a big deal.
Father's Day can be another topic, but I got a couple Father's Day texts. Hey man, happy Father's Day from people like at Ford. And my immediate thought was, do they have kids? Do I say same to you or do I say thanks? Like, I don't know if they have kids. If I say thanks and they have kids, then I'm a jerk. If I say same to you and they don't have kids, that might be a sore spot. I have no idea what to do.
But if you have their number,
you guys overthink it though. Really, I mean, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jamie.
I was just gonna say, if you have their number, I would think you know them well enough that you should know if they have kids.
No, my buddy from Ford came over and he did my deck, my spindles. I don't know I know he has a wife. I don't know if he has kids. The other guy, Bob, the guy that's talking to me about being an electrician. He sent me a Father's Day text. I'm like, I don't know anything about that guy. But he's in my phone because we talk work stuff.
How about you just say thank you?
Because if he has kids, then I didn't wish him a happy Father's Day.
But you don't know that. So just say thank you.
No. So what I did was I said, hey man, thank you. I don't know if I should wish you a happy Father's Day because I don't know if you have kids. I literally just put it out there. And he said, yep, I've got 3 of them, 14, 18, and 22 or whatever. And I'm like, oh, well, happy Father's Day to you then, man.
You overthink that interaction. See,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
People are not looking for you guys to have the perfect words to say in that situation. I mean,
I know people aren't looking for it, but I want to be perfect. I want to be as perfect
your
as I
own
can
harsh critic. You're your harshest critic, right? I mean,
sure.
Yeah, it's not going to matter to people.
So let me clue you in on another conversation that was had at the visitation the night before. So Tomas, me, and Kylie were standing there chatting, and I think Kylie asked the question, who's going to be the family gossip when mom passes? And so we were having that conversation, and immediately it was Rudy. But we're like, no, he would just badmouth people. But they're like,
what?
So, and I think Kylie was like, no, it'd have to be of the older cousins because it'd have to be the next generation, like the next rung down. And I forgot who we landed on. I think we said Manny. Yeah, I don't know, but that was a conversation that we were having, like who's going to be the family gossiper.
As in the one to bring all the information to the family?
Yes.
And she's
Yeah,
talking
I don't know.
about
It's just something to chew on.
after our generation, huh?
Yeah.
So why not one from our generation?
I don't know. I think because there was the two of them there and they were older
Yeah,
cousins, and I think they were wondering about themselves.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was interesting.
Well,
Speaking
that
of
was the first
Kylie,
time. Go ahead.
no, I was about to jump to Dion, but go ahead.
Goodbye.
No, I just Dion is now selling cars or whatever. I was gonna say, speaking of Kylie, he's interested in coming on the podcast, so we got to get him on.
Yes. Yes.
He's selling at Hendrick Chevrolet. I had a little conversation with him. I saw he posted I think it was like a Corvette or something that I could never afford, but he's just like, hey, come buy a car from me or something. It just typed it out there, and I kind of commented on his story. I'm like, hey man, give me a 360 walk around. Like, let's see the car. Like, and so then basically he sent me back a video of just him like walking around the car, like showing me the car. I'm like, no, you need to like, no. And so I sent him some of my old ones when I used to sell cars. Be it I was awful at it, but like,
So
I'm
maybe
like, no,
you
you
shouldn't
gotta
take the advice.
right. Don't take any of my advice. But I'm like, no, you gotta be in front, like, hey, this is Rudy Paredes for blah blah blah. And I got a 2015, whatever, and then get inside the car and show me, look, this has a touch screen, blah blah, show me the car. And he's like, I don't know. At some point it just got to so do you need a car or what? And I'm like, I gotta buy I'm looking, I wish you had a Bronco, I want to buy a Bronco. And he's like, oh, we don't have any currently, but we'll have some in. I'm like, no, I need a new one to use my discount. Like I can't use my discount on a used one. And he's like, oh, that's unfortunate. And that's it. But
So you're of no use to me now.
Yeah. So throw his number away. But no, no, I thought that was funny that he's into cars. Apparently he had a really good first week or first day and sold
Slinging
like
them
3 in
cars.
a day, which I
Three in
have
one day,
never
I think.
done.
Yeah.
Pretty solid. But
Good
yeah.
for him.
But
Good
anyways.
for him.
So yeah,
Okay.
we touched on a lot of topics. Father's Day, the funeral.
I don't know with that funeral, man. There was quite a bit of food. I was my tummy was happy when I left there. It was
Good.
a lot of
Yes.
desserts, a lot of, and you know what? It got me thinking with the dessert
Yeah.
thing that is, what are you doing?
As soon as when we started talking about desserts, I was gonna open up my leftover, and my dog jumped up and her face came under my. She's smelling like, you ain't gonna get this. You can smell all you want, but you ain't gonna.
You didn't put in on this.
You didn't put in on this, man.
Slow down, Michael Vick. I saw you raise your fist to your dog.
I'm thinking.
Come on, go lay down.
So I'm sitting there eating some pan dulce at what 1 o'clock in the
1:30
afternoon.
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how? It's okay for me to eat cake right now, right? Like cake, you can eat pretty much at any point. So why couldn't I eat? So I got to thinking, what is cake? Why? How is cake not socially acceptable as a breakfast food? Like, could you eat cake for breakfast? I would think most people would say no. But then when you think about it, what is breakfast food with basically all just sugar? Like a donut. Like you can eat a donut for breakfast.
I think the problem, see, you just said donut, and that was going to ruin my point was going to be, I think the icing on the cake is what makes it too much for breakfast. Like the cake itself is basically a muffin, right?
But for
and people eat muffin
frosting and
ish.
Yeah, cinnamon rolls have frosting, donuts have frosting, but it's a different type of frosting. I don't know.
But if you asked anybody, they would say no. You can't eat cake for breakfast. That's terrible. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, half of breakfast foods are just garbage, sugar, whatever.
Well, I don't really eat breakfast at all, but yeah, I think it's probably fine for breakfast. I'm the older I get, the less concerned I am about eating something at a certain time of day or drinking something at a certain time of day. I'm like, go ahead.
Oh yeah, 9 o'clock rolls around and I'm eating lunch. I'm eating like full on lunch food.
Wow.
Yeah.
Football
So
season comes around, and I'm like, hey, you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. So yeah, why not?
exactly. But no, it's a good spread.
Coffee at 5:30, 6 o'clock. Sure, why not?
Yeah, and then what we get word on the way to the funeral this morning, that the water may be out, and
Yeah.
immediately, as soon as Emily read me that text, I'm like, I gotta pee now.
I go to the bathroom.
I gotta
Yeah.
pee. Yeah, sure as
Well,
can be.
And I don't think the water actually ever went off, but I think the way that Father positioned it was, hey, the water could go off at any moment. It could be
Dude,
out.
he's really eating that like while we're
Sure, he is.
having the show. Like
Right.
he's stuffing his face.
But as Rudy was saying at the table, he's like, well, when we were eating, and he was, I think, in the middle of that same pan dulce that he's eating right now, or maybe this is the second piece. I don't know, but
I didn't know
regardless,
I didn't know he brought his own Tupperware to take home a to-go plate.
just wrapped
Isn't
it in a
that Andy's
napkin.
nickname? Isn't that Andy's nickname? To-go plate.
To go plate?
Go plate.
Yeah, that's Andrew's.
but
No, I just wrapped it in a napkin. But anyway, go ahead.
he's like, well, but what if they shut off the water? He said, I've got to go to the bathroom, and he had to do not the
Yeah,
the
I had to make.
he had to do a number two.
I had to throw a tail.
And he's like, but what if they shut off the water? And I said to him, I was like, well, really, isn't that the
Somebody
next
else's problem.
Yeah, exactly. That's the next person's problem.
So while I was in there, Xavier walks in. Man, he walked into a
fog?
bee's nest, or what do you call it? Yeah,
Hornet's nest.
It was, a hornet's nest. It was, and those stalls in that bathroom of the church, a little too much of a gap there. Like you could see me with my, God and everything all out, and
You twigging berries?
yeah, and so, but I was finishing up, but yeah, as soon as I heard it hit the water, I had to flush just to, quickly. Let's get this thing out of here, and off to new adventures.
Yeah,
Here we go back. If it's not food, we're talking about piss and poop.
Yeah, I know. Let's get away from poop, guys.
Speaking of piss, though,
We're better than that.
did you guys hear about the guy that they caught that was pissing on Spam and Vienna sausage, like pallets or whatever in the Sam's Club? I just recently heard about that. Yeah, apparently.
What was the?
I mean, just from the little I know about it, the guy was caught on camera peeing, and somebody reported it, and they had to destroy like 10 grand worth of this Spam, and what?
I don't know how you have enough urine in your body to ruin 10 grand of Spam. Like, isn't Spam known for being cheap? And Vienna sausage, it's cheap.
I would imagine. I've never purchased
on
it.
a lot of it.
And
yeah, me either.
Maybe it flashes a lot.
Probably did the world a favor, didn't he? I mean, Spam is pretty much crap, isn't it? I mean,
I've never had it. I don't know, but I think the people that like it.
Didn't we have it once at 5230 East 6th Street?
I feel like Grandma Paredes used to have it.
Grandma Paredes.
I swear to God, I had Spam, and I remember Grandma Paredes' house, and I thought it was good. It tasted a little like bacon.
Look, if you're poor, you're eating bologna. If you're extremely poor, you're eating Spam. I mean,
I don't know. I know it's really popular in Hawaii. I think just because beef is so expensive out there, but I got to think people who really like Spam, like really, really like it. But here's my thing: is that, I believe they're in cans, right? Mm-hmm. Like, so why do you have to destroy all this stuff? From piss. I mean, ideally,
tell it and later have people find out that it was urinated on. I don't know.
So then that leads me to think: at what point, where do you draw the line if somebody pissed on something, where you would still consume it? Now, would you just rinse it off? Granted, okay, let's say I had like a $1,000 bottle of wine, but I told you that I pissed on it. Would you still accept it? Drink it? At what point? Go ahead.
Yeah.
I would get some gloves, rinse it off, soap and water, probably set it off to the side for a while, let it, maybe rinse it again a couple times. Yeah, pop it open.
A bottle, yeah, I could take a Clorox wipe to the outside of the bottle. Sure. Yeah, I think I can.
Huh. Okay.
The
Yeah,
most
I'm just gonna.
you would never have
Bottle-
$1,000 bottle of wine, though, by the way. That's not a Jamie thing ever. So
No,
I-
no,
I
that is very true.
So that's actually a real dilemma I might one day face.
Huh. Yeah. Now I'm just kind of wondering where you draw the line, because I
I guess
mean,
I'd be concerned that maybe some of the urine got in the cork and the cork absorbed it, and it may
the
have,
cork fell out and you stink.
and the cork may have absorbed it, and it may have ended up in the wine, a drop or two. So, yeah, I still think it's probably drinkable. I guess depends on how much I wanted that wine.
yeah. So you could stomach just washing it off, and I'm just curious. That was
Clorox
there
wipe, yeah, I probably
okay?
could.
Hmm.
I mean, box. I mean, if you're talking something like that's in plastic packaging inside of a cardboard box. I don't know. Probably not.
Plastic? You don't trust plastic?
No, I
So it'd
really
have to be glass for you, is what we're saying.
think so. Yeah,
Okay.
or a
Clearly,
maybe a very hard plastic could work. I guess.
clearly, if somebody pissed on the Pan Dulce bag, Rudy would still the way he's devouring that thing. Rudy would still be
Yes.
cool with it.
I want to
Whenever
know if he's. I want to know if he's going to suck up the crumbs, because I think that's
that's
where
what I was literally just about to say that. The best part is the vacuum cleaner part. So I've got
Yes.
you can't really
Hold
see
on,
it. But
vacuum clean them for us. Can we
This
zoom
is
in?
what we did as kids.
Kids, shit, this is what we do now.
it's a little harder with a napkin and not a plate, but
So for all those that
Or
don't know what's
listening.
going on here, after you eat the Pan Dulce, the sugar that falls off of it, you basically
There's
just
lots of
suck
sugar
it
in
up. Yeah, suck it up like a vacuum cleaner. Yes,
oh man.
Rudy certainly does suck.
Got it all
Um,
over. I got it all
Yeah.
over me, my face, neck, and chest. Sorry.
On that note, what else? I did see the other day. We going back to a prior episode. I saw where Alex Gordon was inducted into the Royals Hall of Fame this past weekend.
Yes, he was.
Your
So
favorite?
that got me thinking. I mean, you all know I've made my position clear on this. So okay, he's Royals Hall of Fame, fine, whatever. So he got me thinking about a Hall of Good. Is there a, because clearly he would be in a Hall of Good, right?
It's
I mean,
funny
he's
you
not
said
really-
that because I saw a post and it had like Eric Hosmer and it said Hall of Good on it.
Okay, yeah. Well, this might be something
Yeah.
that got similar that got me thinking. Who are the guys out there? It could be Chiefs, Royals, just professional athlete, period, who would never be good enough to make it to a Hall of Fame, but is still somebody who should be recognized.
But
You
see,
know?
here's the issue I have with that is that's what the team Hall of Fame is.
Okay,
You're not good enough to get to the real Hall of Fame. So we'll have our own for our team. You're the best.
well, then back it
You're the
down a
best.
notch. Back it down, and say somebody who's not good enough to make the Chiefs Hall of Fame, or somebody who's not good enough clearly to make the Royals Hall of Fame, like Alex Gordon. Who should still, man, that guy was really good. Like
David
All right.
DeJesus.
So
there you go.
David
you go.
DeJesus.
I'm not a big baseball fan, so
Okay,
I was
go Chiefs.
Tony Richardson,
Okay,
good player
Okay.
for the Chiefs. I'm not sure if he makes it to their Hall of Fame though.
I don't think so. No.
What about Dale Carter? He's not in their Hall of Fame, is he?
No, he's not.
I don't know if he deserves to be in the Chiefs Hall of Fame. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd put
He doesn't. That's why I would say Hall of Good.
decent.
He was
corner.
on a pretty good Chiefs defense back in the late '90s, mid to late '90s.
Yeah.
How about Kevin Ross?
Oh, he might be in the.
He is in the Chiefs Hall of Fame, I think.
Is he in the Hall of
If
Fame?
he's not-
Okay.
If he's not in the Chiefs Hall of Fame, I'm fairly certain he's in the Ring of Honor.
Well, and that's what I
Isn't that
assume
the
is
same-
the Hall of Fame, right? Isn't that the
Yeah,
same
isn't
thing?
that the
I
same
don't know.
thing?
Is it the same
I think
thing?
it is.
I don't know.
I think it is their Ring of Honor and their.
Okay.
I think that's the same thing.
Yeah, then I think Kevin Ross is part of that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's got me thinking.
Baseball. I don't follow baseball nearly as much as I do football. What about Mike? Is Mike Sweeney in the Royals Hall of Fame?
Yeah,
Is
he's
he?
already in it. Mhm. I'm trying
But
to
yeah,
think of more.
no, just like a God, who was it? Johnny Morton and Eddie Kennison. Remember they
I
played with
wouldn't
Trent
put.
Green?
I wouldn't
remember-
even put them in there. I would put like Willie Davis and maybe JJ Burden.
Wait. I remember Eddie Kennison. Who was the first guy you named?
Johnny Morton.
You remember
No.
Johnny Morton?
Who is he?
Yeah.
They played about the same time with Trent Green.
Yeah.
Johnny Morton
Johnny
was a
Morton-
wide receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't he come from the Lions? Or that's
Lions.
Brett Perryman. Or
No, I think
Johnny
he-
Morton was with the Lions too?
I think. Ooh, I could be wrong. I don't know.
Johnny
don't
Morton.
remember Johnny
I
Morton.
think he was a Lion.
Huh.
Yeah, he played with the Chiefs for a couple years. Him and Brett Perryman
Yeah.
got some Chiefs time.
Anyway,
too,
just
so.
just some things I was thinking about.
Hall of Good.
How
But
about,
yeah, if we go back
Tracy
to the Hall,
Simeon.
Trace.
Linebacker. Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
Tracy Simeon.
Now, if we step it up and talk about the Pro Football Hall of Fame, I would say like a Priest Holmes should be, not in the Hall of Fame, but somebody who's he's in the Hall of Fame of my heart.
Him and Jamal
Right,
Charles, right? I mean, Jamal
Charles, I think, is he
He needs-
potentially? He could be
He
a Hall
needs
of
to be in the
Famer,
Hall of Fame.
like a real.
Jamal
Yeah,
Charles. Yeah, he should.
Well,
be in
then
the
I
Hall
think
of Fame.
Priest Holmes should be too. I mean, I don't know their stats. I mean, they're probably.
I don't
people
know
out
if
there
Priest
with
Holmes
stats.
did it long enough. Did he? Because he sat with the Ravens for a while and didn't really do a whole lot
that's right.
until he
Hard
came
to
to
say.
Kansas City. Then he took off. But I don't
Yeah.
know. That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Anyway, yeah, just
So should we go now that we're a little bit in the sports arena? Should we talk about sports arenas? Chiefs Clark Hunt's made it clear. He's kind of not made it clear, but he's stated that he would like a dome. Where are you guys at on the idea of a dome in Kansas
I don't
City?
care. I mean, pretty much everything now. If you're going to build a new stadium, it has to be,
Right.
multi-purpose. With the dome, whatever.
I think what bothers me the most are these fans that think they matter. I heard on Twitter. I think I read, well, if you go ahead and build a dome, it's not going to be the loudest stadium in the league anymore. So what?
Oh no! Well then,
So-
hey,
Yeah,
no, we've got to be
No,
the
you mean-
loudest.
bringing millions to the city for Super Bowls and WrestleManias and Final Fours. No, I want to be the loudest. And
I don't know. That could be me. I'm just. I don't.
No.
I don't know. Dome. Okay, whatever. You don't need a dome. The dome is
And-
so. There. Every time I think of a dome, I think of the one in. I don't even know if they have it anymore. But the Metrodome, the Superdome, they're all the
Metrodome
Pontiac
doesn't
Silverdome.
stand
They were all built in the 70s at a time, or in the 80s when and they were just so. There's no.
But
Astrodome.
now
They have
you've
no
got the
personality.
Mercedes Benz.
They have no personality. The
Personality.
dome has no personality.
You're talking about a dome. I'm talking like the ones that are retractable roof. Like in Arizona where it can be an open air.
Yeah,
The Jerry Worlds where. Go
I
ahead.
think they're just talking about a straight dome. Not
Oh,
a rolled
really?
roof. I think those are more expensive. I think those are a lot more expensive to like have an
Hey.
open and closed roof. I think. I don't know.
I'm not a fan
But-
of a dome just because it has no personality. I mean, the stadium it's just so.
I don't think
institutional.
football stadiums have personalities.
Sure they do.
Tampa Bay does. They put that little pirate ship there, but for the most part,
Yeah.
you don't see it on TV. You just see the
I have
field.
to
It's not like
agree.
baseball.
I
where you
think
can see the
Lambeau, I
outfield
think
and-
Arrowhead. I think there are some that have personality.
It's significantly different than baseball stadiums, and
Yeah.
considering the four of us with Andy, I think we spent a lot of our childhood vacations touring Major League Baseball stadiums, and it was just kind of cool how they were all unique,
Everyone was different.
Yeah, and football is significantly different in that sense.
I don't know. I just like the idea of, if we're going to put all this money towards it as a city, and I spent all week like fighting with people on Facebook. What am I doing? It's stupid, but yeah, I hope you feel happy that the taxpayers shut up. And then I just get stupid. And I'm like, well, if you can't afford it, then too bad for you. Like, I don't care. Like,
You're a troll.
Yes, I'm 100% a troll. My kids are now out of this. I mean, other than Macy, obviously she's starting middle school, but I don't care about schools. I don't care if any of my tax money goes to schools. I don't care. I want big baseball stadiums that I can go to for the rest of my life until I die, because that's what I want my tax money to go to. Like, yes, I want to give it to this billionaire, because if I don't, some other city's going to, and then I don't want to live here anymore if there's no Royals and Chiefs. So this is what I want my money to go to.
I don't know, but if they go to
we need to fix the potholes and shut up. Shut up,
dummy.
Shut up, damn it.
I don't. If they, I gotta tell you, if they move to Kansas, then I'm renouncing my fandom. I'm putting my fandom up for sale.
I thought you were about to say I'm never going again. You never go anyway. So
I do. I've been to one Royals game this year.
not Royals. I'm thinking Chiefs, strictly Chiefs. When was the last time you've been to a Chiefs game?
I went to a preseason game last year.
When was the last time you went to a regular season Chiefs game? It's been years, right?
Well, before that, it would have been a playoff game. The one where the Chiefs played Tennessee with Mariota, and he caught his own pass or something. That was a long time ago.
You were at that game?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was several years ago. Wasn't it?
I don't go to enough games, and Clark wants to be in Kansas. He wants a dome. Let him go. I mean,
Are you guys on first name basis?
Yeah, the Clarks. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's kind of embarrassing that Missouri lost both the St. Louis Rams and are about to lose the Kansas City Chiefs, but embarrassing. I don't give a crap. Like, if I want to go to a game, I can go to the Legends. That's fine. Whatever. But I don't go to that many games. I don't go to that many games anyway. So now the Royals need to be downtown, but that's a whole that's a whole nother thing. They need to be downtown, because I'm going to buy a loft across the street and just be an old man.
Are you?
Yep.
Okay.
100%. That's all. I mean, like I said, my kids are about grown. Once my child support stops, man, then I'm gonna put all that towards no.
Just stop paying it.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
guess
probably
I
not
can
a
do
good
that.
idea.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, I paid child support more for longer than more than half of my life. I paid child support. From Miranda to the new kids, there was 6 months in there where I didn't have to pay any child support.
New Kids on the Block.
Yeah. And then the new kids on the block came and started collecting money, and then back to paying child support. So basically, since I was 18, there's been 6 months where I didn't have to send money to Jeff City.
Wow.
Wild time. But anyway. Anyway.
On that note, what do we have? Any clips or anything?
We got an award. We got a clip.
An award. Yes. Quit Acting Stupid award. Take it away, Bob.
Quit Acting Stupid. Okay, so as you probably have heard, yes, yesterday we had a visitation for my father-in-law who passed away, and so they're doing the rosary first, and we're getting to the 5th and final decade of the rosary. So I know that once this rosary is complete, that I will be up in the, I guess, quote unquote, receiving line, visiting with family and friends that have come to pay their respects. So I go and check on my brother-in-law in the other room at the funeral home, and then I also thought, well, I better put a breath mint in to water my mouth. You know, it's whenever you get that dry mouth, your breath starts to smell a little funky. So pop a mouth lozenge or a throat lozenge that really just its purpose is to make your mouth wet. Anyway, so normal people, yeah, I know. Just
That's what
move
she
on.
said.
Let me get to the story. I know we could stop at several points along the way. Normal people would pop it out of the pill pack and take it and put it in their mouth.
That's what she said.
I, however, pop it out of the silver foil and go to put it into my mouth, and then proceed to slice my lip open with the foil, and immediately I start to taste, that metallic. Okay, I'm bleeding from somewhere, and it's either bottom lip or top lip, but somewhere I have slit my lip, and now I'm tasting blood. So for the remaining hour and a half that we are there meeting people and greeting people, I'm having to constantly lick my lips to basically suck up the blood. I mean, I don't know
That's what she said.
I'm also, as I'm hugging people and talking to them, trying not to get blood on them. I'm trying not to get blood on myself. I'm trying not to spit blood to others. So, yeah, I felt pretty freaking stupid because the easiest and simplest and smartest thing would have been to simply take the mint, the lozenge out of the foil, pop it in my mouth. But no, I had to put my mouth to the foil and proceed to slice my lip and bleed all over.
Well, that's disgusting.
Kodak is stupid. I mean, only that would only happen to me.
Yeah.
Big dumb animal, isn't he, folks?
Absolutely, right here. This guy. I'll take that award.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Fortunately, it stopped bleeding last night and didn't have that same.
Unfortunately, I was at work, so I didn't get to make the visitation. But I also heard that didn't they forget one of the joyful mysteries or in the rosary?
The folks that were doing the rosary may have just simply forgot that they had only done 4 decades and not.
It was
5.
funny because the crowd was like, "Oh well, there's a 5th."
You know, if you had hired
Okay.
the Guadalupanas never would have made.
Wouldn't have happened. Huh?
No,
Yeah, poor guy.
no.
He lost track where he was, and I think thought he had done 5, and he had only done 4.
I could see Bobby in that meeting, like, "Hey, so can we get a discount if you only do 4 joyful mysteries instead of 5?"
Jamie wanted to portray it as something where I was, going for the 10 peso version.
The 10 peso version. All that you said, and it will save you money.
You didn't pay for all 5.
Give the guy a break. He just simply forgot.
5. Yeah. So.
Oh
all right.
man!
And then a clip. I think you got a clip for us, right? I mean, there's been
clip
a
of
lot
the week
talk recently. You might
Because
set it
of all
up.
the, you want to set it up? Why did we go with this clip? No,
You
just play
guys set it up. Ice baby, right?
Because of all the ice.
Well, what we got here? Looks like a bean in a bean bag. Tienes carta verde?
Huh?
Where's your green card?
I don't got a green card, man.
Where were you born?
What?
Read my lips, El Figo. Where were you born?
I was born in East L.A., man.
You were born in East L.A., huh? And who's the president of the United States?
The cowboy guy on TV. The guy was on Death Valley days. I was John Wayne.
Get him out of here.
Good stuff.
A bean in a bean bag.
That comes from one of our favorites growing up. Born in East LA.
Yeah, I think with the current political climate, I think it'd be good for everybody to watch that movie. Which I think it's actually on. I think it's on YouTube for free.
Back in the day, it was considered a comedy. Now it's a documentary.
I guess so.
I think it's actually streaming free somewhere. I was just watching it like literally as I fell asleep one night. I don't know if it's Plex or Flix or some. I don't know. Somewhere it's out there, but.
Jesus is in Tijuana. Just remember that, people.
Yeah. I think we could go all day playing clips from that movie.
Anything that I want. Hold on.
Yeah,
Rudy Doo or Lou.
Anything that I want.
And some of our clips and some of the movie lines we drop.
Like this one.
Oh, you don't have to thank me, brother. You just have to pay me.
Wait, you're missing the best one.
What's that?
Behind me, Satan. Get behind me.
And all 3 of those are from the same scene.
Yes.
Yeah, literally, I cut up one scene and yeah, so great movie.
Well, good. Any recommendations? You guys seen anything lately?
I know you got 50 seconds. Go.
I saw a good movie tonight with the family. We all sat down to watch a movie. It took us 30 to 40 minutes to figure out what we were going to watch. We decided to watch Burn After Reading. George Clooney and Brad Pitt came out in 2007, 8, something like that. Ended up being pretty funny. We all enjoyed it. So
never heard of it.
Nice. I went to the movie theater tonight and saw a movie called The Materialists, I believe, which I had wanted to see. It's got Dakota Johnson and Pedro Pascal and Chris Evans. I hated it. I didn't hate it, but it made me feel terrible about myself. It's all about dating and stuff, and like, it just, I didn't like it.
I don't
Yeah.
trust people named Dakota.
You
I
had
don't
me
know.
at Dakota Johnson. I'm all there. I'm as the
Yeah.
kids say, I'm there for it.
I'm in on her. Yeah, she's pretty smoking. So, Jamie, anything?
No, I was just going follow up from I think it was last week when I said I watched Wet Hot American Summer and it was just kind of it was okay. I was only like 20 minutes in at that point. I finished watching the movie and I think I talked to was it you, Rudy, or somebody about it and how dumb of a movie it is, but it's hilarious. Like it's so dumb, so off the wall dumb. Like I don't know how it ever got made. Like somebody read that script and was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea to have somebody humping a refrigerator, and I mean among many other things. Yeah, but it was hilarious in how stupid it was. So yeah, good. So I would recommend that.
Well, to answer your question on you don't know how it got made or whatever, there's a podcast called Unspooled, and they recently, like probably like a month ago, did an episode about Wet Hot American Summer, and they kind of talk about how they struggled to get it made for years, and then it finally got made. It didn't make any money. It was terrible. I think Roger Ebert like just completely trashed it.
I can see why.
Then, yeah, but then it didn't become a hit until like DVD became a thing. So
yeah.
Then
I could see that as something I would have rented at Blockbuster.
Yeah, it would have been on Rudy's favorites for sure.
It reminds me of what is that movie like called Movie 49 or something or movie?
I've never seen that.
Oh my God. Everything. I remember going to this will date me a while. I remember going to Redbox and somebody was like, it would return that movie and it was like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen. And then at some point I ended up watching it and I was like, this is hilarious. It was just
Is it really?
Oh, it's hilarious. You have to see that like tonight. It's insane. I should find some. That's gonna have to be a clip of the week.
I know there's a million different actors in it because it's a bunch of different sketches, right?
Yeah.
Or like,
yeah,
I know Jason Sudeikis is in it. I don't know who else.
I don't remember him, but it's hilarious. Anyway, so that's what Wet Hot American Summer reminded me of. And the other one was I started the second season of Tires, and I'm only like 4 episodes in. Hilarious.
Yes, Tires is good.
Even way better than even the first season. I love it. Great. Anyway, that's it.
Movie 43 is what it's called.
Movie 43. Okay. Yeah. It's
in 2013. So
I'm gonna find a clip of the week next week from that movie.
It looks like it might be streaming on Prime, so I'll go look for it in Plex. But anyway. Yeah.
All right, fellas. In and out, like a good boxer.
I thought you said we were gonna say a good Rogering. Anyway.
Just take us home.
All right. Thank you for joining us for this quick episode. We will be back next week with I'm sure 2-hour plus episode. But until next time, for my brother Rudy, Jamie, this is Bobby D and LeBron James. Till next time, quit acting stupid.
Not to get into too much troubles, okay?